Alright guys, it's been a few days since I did a video. I've been really busy. Kids got ice skating after school and stuff like that, but I decided I wanted to try and do a video. I finally had a chance to get my hands on one. I have a Ferrum Forge N-Tac. Now, most of my friends are like, that's small, that's smaller than most of the knives you carry. However, this is an amazing little knife. It's pretty much all blade. I don't know how Elliot did this, and I'm going to ask him when I go. I'm going to try and go up there this weekend or next weekend. How you managed to get that much blade in such a small package. It's almost like the blade, it's almost like there's more blade than there is handle, and I know it's impossible because it would be sticking out, but it's in there. So here's the backstory on this. A couple months ago, my daughter and I found out Ferrum Forge Knife Works was here in San Diego, California. She likes watching knife making videos. She likes Walter Sorrell's videos. She likes watching John Grimstone Knife Making Tuesdays. We saw a couple Ferrum Forge knife videos. She said these guys are funny. And then we find out Ferrum Forge Knife Works is here in San Diego, not very far up the road. So I reached out and I talked to I talked to Elliot on Instagram and asked, hey, would you be willing to do a shop tour on Saturday after my daughter's ice skating? And I said, sure, we're here pretty much 7 days a week. You know, we'll be here. And we went up. And the daughter had a blast. And I don't know who had fun, me or her. Chris and Elliot are amazing guys. They're hilarious. They're funny. Working while we were there, showing my daughter stuff. Chris actually, they were working on some Maker's Choice handles. Anodized the handle to show my daughter how it works. I was like, wow. And he's showing her, he said, with this voltage, you get this color, this voltage, you get this color, this voltage, you get this. And then when you get up into high voltages, that's when the weird stuff happens. And he did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle green handle. So, you know, it was a good trip for her. But while we were there, we got to talking about knives. And other knives, other companies' knives, and other people's knives. And so they pulled out cases of custom knives. But on the desk in their office was this little guy. It was one of these. It was in purple with the diamonds. And I kept going back to it and going back to it. I play with the $13, $14, $1,500 custom knives, Murphy-owned customs, and the Medford Praetorian, and they had all those amazing knives, and yet this was the one I kept gravitating to and playing with and picking up. And I'm like, wow, you know, this is. And I kind of decided. I had already decided, and I'd already talked to John Grimsmo saying that I wanted to get a Norseman, and he was working on the Rask. I offered John to pay him up front. You know, not to try and rush anything, but, you know, I have a small business pretty much where I sharpen knives. I know it's nice to get paid up front sometimes so that you got the money for stuff when you need it as opposed to having to wait. But he didn't want to do that. He wanted to wait. So I told him, you know, as soon as you get a Norseman. So my plan was, this was the plan, that I was going to get my Norseman, and then I was going to begin saving for an N-Tac because I knew where I could get some. And I talked to a guy that works at knifecenter.com, and he said, well, there's not many of the blue ones left. The blue ones apparently were the popular ones, and there's some of them out there. And but I really wanted the blue one with the diamonds. So I got to looking around, and I got to doing some figuring, and then there was a family emergency, and I had to put tires on my wife's car in an emergency, and some other stuff come up, and I paid for that, and I actually had to dip into my Norseman fund. And then came my little shining light that I was able to get this, and I still have my Norseman money. I had a guy that every once in a while will send me straight razors that I'll sharpen them so he can sell them as shave ready. And he sent me a box of straight razors, and I was able to put the money back in my Norseman fund, give my wife $300 for my daughter's ice skating, and still have enough. It was a big box of razors. And at $20 a razor, you know, it doesn't take many to do it. I went ahead and I got this. It's not going to hurt my wallet. I just made like almost $800 sharpening straight razors. So I actually wound up with my N-Tac before I got my Norseman. And now I remember why I liked it so much when I was up there. And it's small. It's pretty good. It's a small knife, but you're talking 3-inch blade. So, I mean, my DOC that I love so much is only, it's not even an inch more in blade size. The handle's huge. And you get that good grip. But the thing is, it carries well. It's nice and light. And the action, that Hoback rolling detent is amazing. I mean, if you look, You can barely even see the flipper tab. That thing snaps open like it is on springs. So I've been carrying it since, let's see, I got it Saturday or Sunday? So I got it Monday. Sorry, I got it Monday. It's Wednesday now. I've carried it. I like it because it's plain. There's no billboard on it. You have one little maker's mark, the Ferrum Forge Knife Works mark. I'm good with that. I don't need, as much as I like my DOC, it's got the serial number and the great big logo on the blade. Sterile, plain, simple, gentleman's folder. I can carry it to work, and I'll tell you, I told Elliot the day I got it, when I pulled this thing out of the box, it was by far, if not the sharpest, it was right up there. Knife I've ever had come out of the box. Now, I did bring the angle back because, like I said, my sharp and other people's sharps, nothing. It was sharp. It was sharp, but it was, first day at work, I had to cut, I had to do some kind of heavy cutting tasks, and I did notice that the blade, while it was sharp, really sharp, it was just a little bit more acute than I would want it for the things that I need. So, you know, I sharpen knives as a side business, so I didn't do much. I just brought the angle back just a little bit, just to thin it out, so that blade is a little thinner and marries up into that really nice flat grind. I mean, Elliot, you amazing. I can't feel any flaws in this. It's just amazing from heel to tip all the way. Uniform, the most uniform sharpening grind. I'm not talking primary grind. You get knives that come from companies, and I've had Microtechs that they come and you look at the tip and the angles not the same from one side to the other. Perfect. Perfect. Dead nuts straight. It was the exact same angle on both sides. And I know Elliot told, you know, we were talking about it last time me and the kid were up there. He uses, I guess it's called the scary sharp method. I don't know. We really didn't talk about it. He uses sandpaper. And people get their head wrapped around what you have to use to sharpen. Elliot uses sandpaper. And it was sharp. And it was a mirror edge. Most of your knife makers will tell you they don't care about it being a finished, polished edge. They just want it sharp. Elliot's knife, when it came out of the case the first time, perfect, polished edge. And it was sharp. But like I said, I needed a little bit more of an acute. It was a little bit obtuse for what I would want. I just wanted to bring it back. But I wanted to be real careful because that finish, I'm going to have a hard time making myself make this into a user knife because everything about it is so perfect that I don't want to screw it up. And I don't have $525 to throw into another and just laying around. But it's worth it. And the guys at work are always like, I can't believe you carry a $500, $600 knife to work. I'm like, it's a tool. It's a tool, and I use it. But the fact is, I have used this, and it didn't seem, I used it, I don't think you're ever going to see a mark on it. I cut some zip ties. Like I said, do physical security on a Navy base, and people tie things to the fence. I had some signs zip tied to a section of fence yesterday that I cut off and just let hang. But it's you know, that N690, first knife I've ever had, an N690. So I'm trying to see. I've done some cutting with it. I cut some line, and I cut some cardboard, and I've cut some zip ties, and I'm not seeing any issues with the way it holds an edge. I haven't really looked into it really. I know it's Bowler N690. I like the Bowler M390. With the exception, it's so hard to get sharp. Once you get it there, it's amazing. So we'll see how this holds an edge. I'm hoping this is more like the LMAX, where if it does start to lose an edge, it'll just take a strop to bring it right back up. So this is just basically my first week of carry with this knife. And I got a sneaking suspicion because it's so comfortable and it sits in the pocket so well that this may bump my my DOC to the dresser. It's in there now. I've carried this pretty much so far this week. Carried it Monday when I got it. Carried it I may have gotten it Sunday night. I don't remember. I can't remember if it got delivered Sunday or Monday. I'm thinking it got delivered Sunday when I was off. And I carried it around Monday, and then Tuesday, and then today at work, I was out and I was busy all day. In case you can't tell, I was out in the sun all day. I'm red. And I had to cut stuff. I had to cut line and a bunch of other stuff. And it's perfect shape. The perfect shape for cutting line and stuff off. It's a nice drop point. But man, like I said, I went up there and this knife was amazing. I liked it then. I like it more now because it's mine. I don't have to go all the way to Elliot's shop to play with one. I actually have flipped it enough that my fucking finger is sore. My tip of my finger is sore from flipping it. But I mean, when you get it down to the point where you can have a flipper tab that's small, and it still flies open like it's on rails, boom. My wife is texting me. My wife is texting me, telling me that they're staying till ice skating till 5. I really don't care. Know me, I can't do a video without one. So, like I said, I just want to give a shout out to Elliot and Chris on this. They're amazing. It's every bit as amazing as I thought it was 2 months ago when I came up there the first time. I just kept playing with it and flipping it and going back to it. And it's like I said, John's knives, when I called it out as the gold standard, John Grimsmo's knives, this is, if it was not a tie, it's a close second. Like I said, I think I just have I just like the Norseman for some reason. There's something about it. And I mean, it's a different kind of smooth. John's knives are a different kind of smooth. It's a bigger, heavier blade. There's just a different feel to it. Not that it's that much better, but now I'm gonna go up to Ferrum Forge and I have to ask him why, after being told what N-Tac stood for, because I know what it stands for. The no talent ass clown. I'm just curious how he came by that, because it's obvious, unless he's just trying to do it because somebody called him a no talent ass clown and he wanted to prove that they were wrong. Well, you did it. But like I said, man, I'm happy. I'm like a kid with a new toy. I took a second spot in my head next to my Norseman. Well, I've already got my Norseman picked out. I've already told John what I want. This was the next thing that was coming. I will say the Norseman that I'm getting is going to be in Damasteel, and it's not going to be something. It's not going to be something that rides in my pocket unless it's. I'm not taking that to work. That's not something. This is a working knife, man. And when guys are like, "Oh, I can't believe you carry a $600 wire, a $500 knife, or a $600 knife," and then I look at some of the guys that I work with. We're all civilians in my shop, and we've got some people that we report to that are GS12s and 13s, which is pretty high. I'm a GS11. That's pretty high. These guys wear suits and ties. I'm not a suit and tie kind of guy. I mean, I've got suits and ties. I know how to do it, but so I see these guys, and they're like, "I wouldn't spend that much money on a knife." And I was like, "Really, really, really? Look at your wrist. I want you to look at your wrist and tell me that that's not a $2,200 watch you're wearing." "Whoa, $2,200 watch." I was like, "It's a $100 watch." I can't see putting that kind of money into it. But for something that I'm going to carry and use every day, it's worth it. I could get rid of every other knife I own, with the exception of my DOC, that little knife that my father gave me, and this one, and never have to worry about buying another knife. Because if you buy a $40 knife, it lasts for $40 worth. I can't tell you how many Gerbers I went through before I realized I should just get a better knife. Not that Gerbers are bad knives. For the purpose they serve, they're great. That little knife that I sharpen for my best friend all the time, it's a Gerber, and it sharpens up nice. As a matter of fact, it was mine when I was still active duty, way before I retired, and I gave it to him because he kept losing his knife. Gerbers have their place, but you're talking quality, you buy for life. I will never have to replace this. Never. This knife should last unless I lose it or do something stupid, like pry on it like an idiot. Pry something off, try and fucking open a car door with it. I should never have to buy another knife. I'm going to because I like knives, but... So, that's kind of that. I was gonna say that I did get a hold of Amazon about the Tibet thing. You saw my video where I apologized to Amazon. The problem I have is he is still on. They told me to check back in a week, and it's been a little bit less than a week, and I'm still kind of upset. They told me they were going to review this seller, and I may have put that "I'm sorry, Amazon" video up a little bit prematurely. So just kind of keep your eyes open for stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. Well, I missed my mark. I was trying to keep under 15 minutes, and it is 15 minutes and 2 seconds right now. So, like I said, I'm gonna go up there just hopefully maybe this weekend and just say hi to the guys and take a kid with me, and maybe if they're okay with it, I might see about taking some shop video and put it in a video. But you know, hey, it's their shop. If they don't want me to, that's fine. So, you guys take it easy. If I was gonna say this, I saw a video that Cutlery Lover put out, and I 100%. If you go to a brick and mortar knife store, a mom and pop shop, please do buy something. He put that out there, and it's true. There's one up here in Alpine, I think, and I went in and I didn't buy much anything, but just because they are keeping their doors open, there's not too many brick and mortar knife stores anymore. Just buy something if you go into one. There's not many of them around anymore. The mom and pops are getting run out by Blade HQ and stuff because there's less overhead for them. So at any rate, signing off of here. I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy your afternoon. I'm going to enjoy mine because I'm going to sit and play with this all afternoon.